the gods, I trust we have an easy fight today, men. But we know that the gods also love their little jokes. So make ready. Keep your wits about you, and your swords to hand. On my command, kill them all!
Another day, another battle. What is up, guys? It's Apollo here, and welcome to Ancient Empires. So this is a mod for Total War Attila that turns Attila basically into Rome Total War, but more historical, where you have more factions and more units. Now, in terms of battle mechanics, I'm not too sure. It's been a long time since I played, and I don't know how different it is compared to, vanilla Attila. But yeah, we're back. I'm excited for this battle, and this is going to be a lot of fun. This is a battle in the East. So, we've got a lot of Eastern factions, very cool factions, so let's check them out and get this battle underway. So starting on this side, we have the Seleucid Empire. Of course, you guys all know and love the Seleucid Empire with their very famous silver shield pikemen, which is, yeah, look how cool they are. We're going to see them on the battlefield. It is going to be awesome. Now, next to them is another Eastern faction, another Greek Eastern faction, the Hasmonean Kingdom. I almost called them Empire, the Hasmonean Kingdom. So I don't know much about them, honestly, but they look pretty cool. Actually, it looks like, these look more like Eastern rather than Greek. But yeah, they look awesome. They're bringing some slingers. It looks like they got a lot of spears and swords, but they are maneuvering their forces closer to their allies. They also have brought some pretty nasty cav as well. So, pretty cool stuff. Let's go to the other side and see the other forces here. So, starting with the Kushites. So, of course, you guys know Kush. So they are a little different, obviously, compared to Rome Total War. They've added some, different units and whatnot. I think they've added different hairstyles as well. Like, I don't know. I don't remember seeing these hairstyles. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, it's pretty cool. They got some Kushite warriors, and they have some Kushite swordsmen with the fancy zebra skins shields that are changing skins. Look at that. How is that even possible? And then finally, we have the last army. This is the Ptolemaic Egyptians. So they are bringing a lot of pikemen to counter the Seleucid pikemen. And let's see if they are willing to fight and die and defeat the great Seleucid Empire. So let's get this one underway. So the armies have now started to approach each other, and I just wanted to do a quick overview, kind of looking at the strengths and weaknesses of each army really fast. So looking at the Egyptians, they have chariots. Now, I don't know. Chariots are kind of like one of those units where they could either destroy the enemy or just get quickly destroyed. So this is going to be a big target or big unit to look at and just kind of see how they play out. Especially, it's also the general, so you might have to be more conservative with this unit. We'll see how he plays with the chariots. They also have some cav, but looking at the Seleucids, I assume they have better pikemen, but I think they have less infantry and more cav. So they're bringing the companion cav to the battlefield, and one of those being the general. So we'll see how that, matches up with the Egyptians. Now, Kush, by the way, there's a little bit of a skirmish going on over here. Kush has chariots as well, and he has elephants. And now we got a clash of cav between the two forces. And now the chariots are going in. So this was just a full-on, no-breaks attack for the Kushites in the Hasmonean Kingdom. But things aren't looking good. The chariots, which is the general, did a great job of breaking these slingers, but they should return. But the cav over here has won their battle for the Hasmonean Kingdom. But it's still going on. My bad. They're running off the chariots, but over here, this cav battle is still underway. Kush is using their royal cav to try to overwhelm this one unit, and the Hasmonean Kingdom needs to switch over and support this cav fight. So they are sending them over to kind of flank around the Kushite Cav, but I don't think it's enough. I think the Kushite Cav is going to be able to win this Cav engagement, and that's going to be a huge win for the Kushites. Let's go ahead and do some slow motion here just so we kind of, you know, capture it all and soak it all in. So the chariots, I believe, do they have skirmishing capability? No, they do not. But something hit that Cav, this Cav right here. This Cav that was flanking around originally was kind of scaring off the chariots. They lost a lot of men to, I think, maybe archers. Maybe it was the archers from way over here that just lit them up. But now the archers are focusing on enemy forces, kind of chase these arrows and see where they land here. Oh, they're going after the infantry, the spears. But so far, this has been a great start for the Kushites. And now we have the Hasmonean Empire sent. Oh my god, look at these throwables. They're throwing axes to their backs. They've sent up some infantry to support the Cav to try to win the Cav engagement. But Kush is like, nah, not in my house. So they're flanking around to counter-flank the infantry. And now we've got infantry colliding over here. So let's do some slow motion again, because if you look across the battlefield, look who are about to clash over here as well. We've got the great pikes of both empires, I guess you could say, both factions about to go at it. And just look how cool this is. This is awesome.
Our men flee the field of battle.
Oh, yes. Beautiful. And now the pikes are going to go at it. But here's the thing. How long... Oh, and look at these javies going overhead. How long can these pikes hold for Egypt? And what is Egypt going to do to try to overwhelm the great pikes of the Seleucids? Well, let's see. He's got a force on the flank with some Cav and chariots. Over on this side, it's actually Kush, who is sending over 2 units of Kushite Royal Guard. Look at these lads. Oh my god, the gold. The fish scale armor. And the shields. With the gods. That's so cool. But they're actually going to put pressure on the Seleucids. The Seleucids using their javies here to try to slow them down. Of course, they're going to disengage and run away. And the pikes, look at this. The Egyptian phalanx, because he's bringing more pikes, he's able to maneuver them around the flanks. All right, well, let's not waste too much time here watching one battle. Let's go to this other side where, things are getting weird over here. Lots of Cav in this engagement. You can see that the Kushite Royal Cav is still in the thick of it, but as we look over, there's more and more Cav coming this way. So that pretty much the Hasmonean kingdom has sent over all of their Cav to win this engagement. Everything they can to try to win this engagement. And it also looks like the infantry for the Hasmonean Empire, or kingdom, has defeated the Kush infantry that was flanking around. The rest of the forces kind of stand back, and the Kushite main infantry army is just kind of sitting back and skirmishing. And they're really, I assume these guys are really good skirmishers, and they are tearing up this infantry, this spear unit over here. And now look at these guys. Look at these infantry archers. That's so cool. They look awesome. Yeah, definitely gonna have to learn the names here of these troops eventually, like how to pronounce them. All right, let's go back over here, where the fight might have begun, or might have began, whatever, on the other side of the battlefield between Kush and the Hasmonean kingdom. But this is definitely where things have picked up. And it almost looks like the pikes have taken a little bit of a breather, where they stopped killing each other and they're like, all right, just give me a second. But no, the killing has continued as we have a couple brave soldiers right in the mix of it. Look at this guy. Oh, that's what you get for leaving your formation. And then over on this flank, we've got a flank from settler spearmen. This is the Egyptians going around. And this is a major problem for the Seleucids. They have infantry all in their back lines, and they don't know what to do about it. Egypt has flanked around, but has not yet engaged. I think he's about to move forward, though. There he goes. He's going to go for the silver shields. And this is how you got to beat the silver shields. You've got to flank around them. You've got to kill them from either the sides or the very back, because they will hold back these pikes. And I think that's why the Egyptians are kind of hanging back. They're just keeping them occupied as the flanking forces maneuver around. And what a maneuver by the Egyptians. Now, good move here by the Seleucids using his archers, the Cretan archers. Look how awesome the Cretan archers look in here. The bulls, I love it. The nice bull sigil on their shields. But they're trying to soften up these pikes, and they might actually do a pretty good job. They are doing a good job, but unfortunately, Egypt has more troops than just the pikes. And the spears are flanking around and causing issues for these hoplites. Over on this side, the infantry have clash. Kush is moving up his infantry, the Kushite noblemen, and they look a little bit better than what they're facing. The Judean spears. Sorry for my mispronunciation. Back over on the flank. I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe it. Look at the Kushite cav still going at it. And we actually have a general breaking here. This is the Hasmonean Kingdom general who is falling back. He's fleeing the battlefield. And now the elephants are now arriving. The balance of power is still even, guys. But it does feel one-sided. It feels like Kush is controlling this fight. And he's been controlling it from the very beginning. Now the chariots have been called back into the fight. But they break. A huge, huge win for the Hasmonean kingdom. They broke the general of the Kushites, and that's good because they lost their general as well. We'll see how that plays out. Now, over here, this is looking pretty wild. I mean, look at the flank here. This is a really cool shot of this battle. I mean, does this not just feel like an ancient battle? That just looks awesome. And we have some cav over here as well. We've got a big cav brawl. So this is the Seleucid cav, and I feel like this is more of a desperate push from them with their cav, kind of like their last hope, because if they can defeat the cav of the Egyptians, then they will be able to flank around with their cav, do some hammer and anvil on the Egyptian infantry, and try to save his Seleucid infantry, his army, try to save his army. But as I continue to watch this, look at this entire flank folded for the Seleucids. Look at the rocks and the dead bodies there. But yeah, this is a huge break. Wow, okay, what is this? Settler phalanx have defeated the Settler bronze shields. They are falling back. Maybe they just don't like what they see going on in the battlefield. Look at the officer. He's like, no, I'm done. I'm out of here. Man, that's nuts. Now over here, Kush is just dominating this side against the Hasmonean kingdom. And what a decisive victory for them. I don't know. It seems like the Hasmonean army was just outmatched from the beginning. It just seems like they didn't have the proper infantry to deal with the Kushites. And now we have the breaking of the Seleucids as well. And that's going to wrap it up, guys. That is a short but sweet battle of pretty, decisive victory. That was dominance there, where the Seleucids just, they went with more of a quality rather than quantity. Maybe if they spread out their pikes a little bit more to kind of, extend, maybe they could have held a little bit longer, but yeah, I don't know. It almost, part of me feels like the battle was lost as soon as it started, just based on the armies. They just stood no chance, and Kush, just a ferocious fight there. I mean, he had these elephants, but he didn't even really need it. The elephants just showed up at the end of the battle, and they was pretty much won at that point. Let's end the replay and look at the stats here. Excuse my screen, it's a little weird. So I am upgrading to 2K or 1440. Technically my monitor is not 1440, so I'm kind of manipulating it to make it 1440, so that's why this is kind of looking weird. I have ordered a new monitor, but I just wanted to get it going and start uploading in 2K. But yeah, we've got Flintstone and Will. They did a fantastic job. So by the way, this was sent in by Will, the Kush player, who did amazing. His cav, like, the Kushite Royal Cav is something else. I mean, they fought the whole battle, outnumbered, surrounded, and they just got a ton of kills. And really, it's not like amazing amount of kills, but they just held. That's all that mattered. The archers did really solid. The infantry didn't get a lot of kills, but they didn't see a lot of action. Look at this. Oh my god, they had so many archers. They just peppered down their enemy. And then over on this side, well, if we look at the Egyptians, they also did great with their pikes. They held their own against the silver shields, and they killed it. I mean, they got that flank and it was over. So over on this side, the Seleucid Empire, his archers did pretty well. They chewed up some pikes of the Egyptians, but it just wasn't enough. And maybe if he brought maybe more cav, maybe I don't know. Again, I'm not an expert at this mod, so I don't know what he could have done a little bit better. Maybe just more troops, cheaper troops. And then finally we have the Hasmonean Empire, which he just struggled to deal with the Kushites. He lost some skirmishers right at the beginning. He really needed those skirmishers considering how many archers the Kushite kingdom was bringing. But he just couldn't deal with the cav, and it was just too much. So that's going to wrap it up here, guys, for today's battle. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, don't forget to lay siege to the like button. I do appreciate your support, and I will see you next time on the battlefield.